this inverted headstone, the tomb is a grave marker for hope. The only way out is down. Nothing and no one gets out, unless they're dropped to the earth thousands of feet below. The clock ticks. Cress and I wait in a darkened bank of smoke and cloud. 10 minutes late.
They'll show up. Just watch for their signal.
I massage pins and needles out of my thighs while we sit, unmoving. It's only a matter of time before someone comes around to ask questions. Cress, get down! Cress ducks under the dash while a massive shadow swoops alongside us. A groaning barge burdened with thousands of pounds of waste, driven by a man oblivious to our cold sweat.
Hey there, slow day, huh?
Yeah, just waking myself up.
Hey, oh, I get it. Nobody's busting you for taking a 5. I was just taking a break myself. Mind if I join you?
Something shines in the darkness behind him. The signal? My heart's in my ears as I figure out how to move the barge captain along.
Get rid of him.
Ostrzeż go przed oficerami.
Word of advice. I spotted officers circling the area. They won't take kindly anyone slacking on duty.
Intelligence officers? Here! You're pulling my leg. It's been quieter than a cemetery.
Just up on the east ledge. Probably planning a surprise inspection. I'd beat it.
Good tip. Take care, friend. They'll ticket you for anything. Dirty magazines, parking, painting your neighbor's dog green.
Tak, to mogłoby być ciekawe.
The barge pulls away and Cress unhides herself while I hunt for the glint of signal light.
Dasz mi tam spojrzeć? Nie. Tu mogę
Many
spojrzeć.
attempts have been made, and each time it's made clear. It doesn't matter how much firepower someone brings, the prison remains unassailable.
Tu coś się świeciło.
An observation booth surrounded by darkened glass and the big blue nothing. I hope whoever's on duty is taking a nap. The searchlights pan back and forth, waiting with a hair trigger to light the sky on fire with enough ordnance to sink an island. Cress,
Oh.
there's a pencil-sized light in the mouth of darkness. Adrenaline and hope are the only things keeping the Aetherians from losing what precious grip they've got on that chute.
That's them. Go!
Moment, ja chciałem jeszcze coś innego poczytać.
Wait, searchlights first.
Omińmy reflektory.
The barge is a heavy dance partner, but with me leading, she may pull up on the tomb and look up into the darkness like grave diggers plundering the ancient world. Except the weathered limbs, calloused fingers, and gaunt faces in this sarcophagus are very much alive, waiting for us with anxious vitality. Get in!
On it! Lucy, help Owen down!
I don't know how long they were clinging to the chute, but I hear relieved groans and shouts as several bodies thump onto the bed of the barge.
Thank you, miss. Any later and we would have been grounded.
Don't thank me yet. We still need to get clear. Cress, where are we heading?
Far bank. Good job keeping them off us, Randazzo.
The tomb's guards buzz around looking for us like angry wasps defending their hive, but we're safe from their stingers. For now. We ditch the barge at the harbor, hustle the Aetherians into our cars, and make tracks.
Ja chciałem się tam rozejrzeć, no. O, uleciało nas. Miło. F5. Pożegnajmy uczynierów, ale coś nas zatrzyma?
Here!
O, jednak nie.
Cress points to a wall of nothing but discarded machinery. But then, I see it. A small Aether symbol. The hidden door opens before I finish hiding the cars. Paupers must be watching.
Gia, no matter what, stick close. I mean it.
Where are you taking us?
Do burdelu.
Home.
Cress is my only point of reference as we navigate the Undercity, a maze that winds and bends in the dark blue light flittering through gaps in the brick and machinery. We reach an unmarked door.
Watch your eyes.
Aż tak tam będzie, że będzie dymu dużo?
A hidden cityscape, bathed in aether light and rhythmic machine sounds, spreads out before me. I exhale an appreciative whistle while I blink the dots from my eyes.
Not what you were expecting?
No.
This is amazing.
We've had a few decades to figure it out.
Long embraces, teary faces, and inside jokes coax tired laughter out of the Aetheniers as they reunite with their friends and families. I can't remember the last time I talked to my folks like that. Not the tomb had aged them, but the promise of safety rolled back the years, returning them and their loved ones to better times. You all right?
I'm better off than them. They've escaped the tomb, but they're still prisoners. We'll have to beg another baron to take their contracts, and then this whole thing starts over.
You got them out, Cress. Everyone got to walk away. Sometimes that's the best outcome.
It shouldn't be.
Cress?
Hey, is Owen settling in okay?
Yes, thanks to you. He'll be fine. We all will. But, I'm actually here to tell you Iron Hand's looking for you.
The Aetheniers around us stare sympathetically. Some even shrink away with looks of guilt.
Gia, I have to deal with this. If I'm lucky, it won't take long. Stay here.
To się rozejrzyjmy. Ja... porozmawiać... Mogę zagrać w coś? Weźmy warsztat.
The cold, barren walls, rich smell of oil, and familiar clank of tools quickly announce this building's purpose. A garage like this is a smuggler's best friend. Nondescript, affordable, and discreet.
Okej. Czyli mam rozumieć, że ja już mam też więźniarkę? No, mamy więźniarkę. Mamy pancerze 2, 4 pancerze. Spoko. Fajnie, że mamy kolejne auto. Moglibyśmy kupić jakieś auto. Albo sprzedać. Ciekawe. A coś do naprawy? Na szczęście nie. Ale części nie mogę kupić. Tylko auto. Dobra. Ruszmy do Archendenzam. Przypatrzmy się.
Aetheniers start young. They learn to take your car apart long before they develop their whitewashed eyes.
Akcja, porozmawiaj. Spróbujemy
The
zagrać.
pitter-patter of coins clink across the metallic streets. I watch as a group of Aetheniers take turns pitching coins at a tiny basket on the wall.
Dołączmy do gry.
Room for another? Despite a flicker of wariness, my arrival with Cress must have bought me enough goodwill. I get calls for good luck as I line up my shot. Like a bolt from Zeus, my coin hits the basket dead on. I get a clap on the shoulder and a hat's worth of winnings.
O, kasę zyskać, no fajnie. 20 dolców. Zawsze coś. 5, interakcja.
The negotiations were making progress. Ah, you must be Giovanna. Gia, I'm told you prefer. Sam Lowe, president of the Undercity League.
The so-called rats might get looked down on, but even the barons had to pretend to play nice with the Undercity League. Samuel Ironhand Lowe represented every Aetheneer in New York.
I have to thank you. You kept our Cressa alive today.
He sticks out his hand to shake. A genuine smile follows. The man's warm, inviting. A memory of Pop showing us our new sweaters on Christmas morning floats up from the recess of my mind.
To mnie słyszałeś?
Surprised you know me. What have you heard? My name's taken some hits. Depending on your racket, it's usually passed around either with caution or horror. He turns towards me, thumbing his suspenders, and gives me his whole attention.
Good things. Our friends Alexander and Maria, and Cress here too, describe you as someone to rely on.
That's it? His eyes drape over me like a warm blanket, wrapping me in an understanding look. He knows. He knows all of it.
This city is filled with stories, Gia. I've heard them all. What I've found is that the only ones worth paying attention to are those happening right now. And your story right now is quite exciting.
Zapytajmy, czy Liga Podziemia zajmuje się... Czym się zajmują tutaj?
What's the Undercity League doing in White Street?
Burdel?
Negotiation. White Street's been so busy with their war that they've neglected their duties. Eli is still obligated to provide every basic necessity to his Aetho engineers.
Your negotiations have gone nowhere, Ironhand. The shortages, the imprisonments, the terriers having free reign over contracts. You're begging for scraps.
Don't downplay our progress now. More food, medicine, and parts. Even some years shaved off contracts. Negotiations might not be as flashy as a prison break, but they make a difference.
You didn't see them in the tomb. They couldn't wait.
And now how many more will be rounded up, locked away? How many terriers will be down here intruding in your lives, looking for those you freed, adding more years to contracts? Eli is not made of stone. Even he's capable of compassion. He could have been talked into seeing his judgment was too hasty. Now he'll harden himself.
You give him too much credit.
He will regard every one of us as a potential accomplice.
He's never gonna change his mind, no matter how much ass you kiss. He was stringing you along. You're still just a rat. We're all just rats.
I am certain your friend here, even in her line of work, is familiar with making compromises with the barons in order to succeed.
Tutaj. Z jednej strony on ma rację. Znaczy oboje mają rację, szczerze mówiąc. Patrząc na to. Że mając przyjaciół u tamtych, dzięki temu jesteśmy w stanie przejść przykładowo przez jakąś kontrolę, tak powiedzmy co drugą, trzecią kontrolę. O tak. Ej, jest se pani. Bo będą nas wiedzieli, że jak zobaczycie ją, no to za tak 2-3 razy ją przepuśćcie. No, a więcej to sprawdźcie, byle jak, aby sprawdzić po prostu. Stajmy po stronie Cress tym razem.
A baron will try to pull one on you every chance they get. It's in their nature. We don't do ourselves any favors playing by rules they just laugh at.
I have this argument with someone regularly. I'll tell you what I tell him. You can't make a car fly with a cracked engine.
Racja.
I've got a roll of tape that says otherwise. But I know, life's not a car. Even if it'd be easier if it worked like one.
But what's done is done. Cress, I may not agree with your methods, but thank you. Thank you for helping them escape. I will take care of the rest.
Odstrzelisz.
What are you going to do? Eli's probably heard about the prison break by now. He's probably got patrols up and down the barony looking for them.
What I do best, negotiate. Our newly liberated friends will need new homes, quickly. I know barons who will buy the contracts. People who are not unreasonable. But Cress, next time remember, there is always a risk when you charge at the Lion's Head.
With that, the venerable Iron Hand leaves us, sharing friendly smiles and kind words with those he passes. Cress, on the other hand, goes slack.
Look at them. They believe every word of it. That this time the negotiations will work. They shouldn't have that hope.
You all right, Cress? That didn't seem like the first time you've gotten a talking to.
Iron Hand's not a bad guy. Honestly, he overworks himself, trying to keep the rest of us afloat. I understand it, but he makes it hard to argue back.
The more I look at Cress, the more I see the sway on her feet, the way she keeps massaging around her prosthetic limb. Either the job or the chat with Iron Hand was catching up to her. Ready to head back?
Not yet. I want to stop off at the Department of Contracts.
Ej, mamy prawie całe doświadczenie. Zagadamy jeszcze z tymi tutaj. I
I
powinno
hear
być dobrze.
Alexander and Maria's voices drift over from the shop. Despite their hushed tones, it's not hard to guess the source of their concern.
Not good. They need food, bandages, water, but we're stretched so thin as it is.
It can't be helped. They're family. We'll find ways to survive. It's what we do.
I never wanted to bring our child into a world like this. I didn't want them to just survive. I wanted more, better than what we have.
Lexi, we'll get through this. We're going to make a better world together for all three of us. We still have options. Don't give up hope yet.
Alexander rests his head on his wife's shoulder. They're lost in a few moments of peace, just the three of them. Whether it's the quiet or the exhaustion, there's no anger when my presence intrudes.
Topsider, you pulled through.
Thank you, truly. When we lost them, we almost... You don't know how many spirits you've lifted. Thank you.
Przypiszmy zasługi Cress.
Cress was the one running the show. I just did what she asked.
She's been a good friend to the community ever since Eli's last purge. I hope we can return the favor one day.
Maria lets out a yawn deep enough to betray several sleepless nights. You folks look like you could use some rest.
Rest? Who has time for rest? The terriers say double shifts will end when the war ends. It's been this way for years.
It didn't used to be this bad, even for White Street. But after the bombing at Santa Anita, the priorities changed.
Eli took off the sheepskin, that's what changed. He was looking for an excuse to go back to war and dragged us with him.
Jak to było przed zamachem?
White Street's always been a powder keg. Can't imagine it any different down here.
You think terriers, contracts, and long hours are new to us? We're taught the terms from birth, but it used to be livable here. Clean water, islands that didn't flip barons every few months. We took care of ourselves.
Even topsiders were friendlier. There was this one older lady, owned a pool. Sometimes she'd let Lexi and I go at night.
Maria?
And swim! We could keep the lights off and no one knew we were there. She died not too long ago.
The new owner tried to report us first time we showed up. It doesn't matter, the space was requisitioned for military purposes sometime later. Everything for the war effort.
Jak chcą stworzyć lepszy świat?
I overheard you talking. Something about making a better world? That made ripples in whatever bubble of peace they had. A subtle glance, a flash of worry, and silent debate passes between the two of them before the tension drains.
You see how we live? Our children shouldn't know how to use a wrench before they know how to walk. I want to teach a child more than taking apart generators. How to make music, how to swim, how to windskip.
Do you remember when you taught Kelly's boy how to skip stones? You two stayed up all night.
That boy, clumsy but determined. Couldn't get more than 2 bounces no matter what I taught him.
Przekaż mi kamienie do puszczenia kaczek.
I reach into my pocket and pick out a few flat stones. I make sure there's eye-catching patterns and colors, the kind I would have snapped up as a kid. Here, blue ones from the burrows. Could probably spin a story off that.
Skipping stones. You keep these on hand?
I like to have them handy, just in case. Alexander smiles softly, holding my gaze as he pockets the stones like he's handling a wrapped parcel.
Thank you.
Sprawdźmy sklep. Co to jest? Broń podwoziowa. Strzela szerokim strumieniem ognia za pojazdem, uszkadzając cele i nakładając efekt spalenia na każdym podpalonym pojeździe. Interesujące. Co to? Granatnik. No jeszcze lepiej. Notatnik. Okej, to może się przydać. Kupię. Takie rzeczy to warto mieć przy sobie. My to ja mogę... Mamy pełne, dobra. Co to jest? Przestawiacz. Działający na magnes urządzenie przemieszczające pojazdy bez uszkadzania ich. Odpcha dowolny wybrany pojazd na krótkim dystansie. Ok. Czy jakbym dobrze się ustawił, to byłaby szansa, żeby go po prostu posunąć. Dwie naprawiarki by się przydały. Wątpię. Nie wiem, co bym warto było chyba poprzerzucać. Dwa dziady do naprawy są potrzebne. Skrzynkę z cygarami zostawię. Cygaro. Czy jeszcze strzelby nie zamontowałem z powrotem? To jest? Nie w tym punkcie kontrolnym nawet się nie zorientuję. Weźmy. Może się przydać. Dobra. Coś wartego jeszcze tutaj byłoby do kupienia? Chyba nie. Dobra. Ile starczy? Udział kontraktów. Trzeba tutaj wejść.
Cress walks me through a door that smells of old paper and cooling coffee, and I double take. Above packed shelves and harried archivists, I see a sky of stained glass and stars made up of winking Aether
Wyciągnę to
light.
dalej. Podzielę po prostu. No 2 albo 3.
From the way Cress basks under its light, I doubt we're here to thumb through records. Madonna, what's that for?
Stargazing. Come on. Take a load off. The light's hitting the glass just right today.
San Francisco doesn't look that far away. Too bad the 2,000 miles in between is reserved for farmers or raiders.
O panie, ile tego tutaj jest? Na dół mogę patrzeć. Na górze nic nie ma, dobra. Interakcja.
My eyes skim a series of titles to do with Aetheniers and Aether theory. Behind me, I hear Nellie gasp in anticipation, delight, recognition.
Król Starsfory.
Strasbourg, King Stratosphere.
Król Stratosfery.
Despite his personal peccadillos and suspected anti-American leanings, the scientific advances of Arnold Strasbourg chiefly known for his advancement of aether propulsion and suspension at high altitudes, ironically widened the gap of wealth inequality even further in favor of the Uppers baronies despite their brilliance.
Jestem przekonany, że pewnie jest achievement za przeczytanie wszystkich książek tutaj. Tak obstawiam.
I'm sure Strasbourg himself would have something to say to this author, if he hadn't disappeared into thin air.
Geneza Eteru.
The origins of Aether. Though the early successful advances brought about by the discovery and development of Aether for purposes of construction were reasonably well documented, the explosive failures of its early experimentation, most notably the fatal Dews Reservoirs incident in which 38 technicians lost their lives, are less so. Due to the confluence of shared credit as well as blame, it is difficult to pin down who is most responsible for these first developments, as no less than 6 scientific collectives each claimed credit for those breakthroughs, while trying to avoid blame for any shortcoming. Same as it ever was. If you can't prove something is yours, muddy the waters enough for a partial payday.
Wszystkie kolory tęczy. Teorie spektrum eteru. To może
All
być
the
ciekawe.
colors of the rainbow. Theories regarding a so-called Aether spectrum. While the vast majority of Aether scientists agree that theoretical colored Aethers are nothing more than a load of bunk dreamed up by weapons developers, a small number of researchers theorize that such weapons could be developed as soon as 30 years from now.
Już jest.
Or, as it turns out, a whole lot sooner.
No właśnie powiedziałem. Opuść ten
No
dział.
understanding of brevity.
Dobra. To załatwione. Teraz tu.
I spy a collection of volumes, most of them hand-bound in leather or fabric. Huh. Looks like they were all written by Aetheniers. Each spine features a tiny brand corresponding to the free home where they were written.
Nowo Place. Dobra czatownia.
Conover Place, a nice place to lurk. When my folks got our contracts moved here from Pendleton Rocks, we would be treated nice, humane-like even. More money to go around, they'd tell my sister and me. The terriers aren't as strict, as if that meant anything. We won't be allowed topside, though. Not that they could tell without our eyes in. 1932. This one hasn't aged well. Conover Place burned a year after this was published. Most of the Aetheniers dead, sealed in an iron coffin.
Kość metropolii.
The bones of Metropolis. My father worked the steam vents to his dying day. Son, he gasped, while the sawbones struggled to replace the fluids his burns had leached from his parboiled body. This ain't no life for man or woman. But what else is there, Pop? I cried, pounding on the wall with work-rough hands. What else is there? Lots of talk about weight-to-energy ratios and the stabilization of Aether when they describe how neighborhoods are maintained.
Duchy w rurach. Analiza zależnych od lokalizacji przypadków psychozy w podziemiu.
The ghosts in the pipes. A study of location-based psychoses in the Undercity. Unable to find a common thread other than rough location, Dr. Fisher launched an in-depth investigation into why the men and women within the Racine Undercity were exhibiting a higher-than-normal rate of aberrant behaviors than other Aethenier free homes within the lowers. After 18 weeks, Fisher concluded that the chronic insomnia and resultant anxieties were directly tied to the sound of waste fumes vacated through improperly repaired pipes running through the maintenance tunnels, leaving the inhabitants surrounded by a constant sound resembling unending, unintelligible wailing, called the ghosts in the pipes by the locals. Dr. Fisher himself was not immune to the consequences of this phenomenon, and was remanded to a psychiatric institution after the study's conclusion.
Ciekawe.
This stuff goes on forever.
Jeszcze dwie
This
punkty.
shelf has a few books on the history of White Street. I notice right away that the majority of them look brand new, as if they've never been read or even handled. I guess these aren't too popular.
Znój i trud. Analiza przebiegu wojny o marnotrawienie wody.
Toil and Trouble, an examination of the water waste war. There was no doubt after White Street's victory of attrition over the barons of Smucker and Gainsford that the struggle was lost. Tillinghast had outmaneuvered the politicking of the lesser barons with intimidation and a projection of force. With the conflict resulting in a decisive stake in the city's water futures, the peace-loving General Tillinghast could, at long last, lay down his sword and enjoy the peace his vigilance had bought.
Propaganda.
Peace-loving? Right. And I'm Kaiser Wilhelm.
Cesarz czystych ulic. Wczesna kariera Elia Tillingstona.
Clean Street Caesar. The early career of Eli Tillinghast.
Zawsze jakieś informacje
Though
dostajemy.
criticized by his peers for his controversial choices, Tillinghast doubled down on his shock and dread campaign, utilizing his sanitation brigade as a rifle butt, smashing pretenders to the throne of his burgeoning domain. Under his guidance, the Whitecaps moved from tidying the streets to handing out citations for unclean behavior, to random search and seizures, to enforcing curfews, eventually resulting in a de facto state of martial law. I closed the heavy tome, 500 pages of raw propaganda that looked like it hadn't seen a lot of attention. I wasn't expecting a secret shelf just out of sight.
Okay.
I pick up the dense collection of Tillinghast's memoirs and notice something curious built just behind the series of volumes. I gather an armful of the self-serving waste of pulp on the luminaries of White Street and deposit them where they belong, on the floor, out of sight, hopefully for all time. Dry as anything. Time to look elsewhere.
O, nie.